This is Pat Soundbytes Unplugged. Unplugged. The podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
Yeah, Pat Calamari here, host of Pat Soundbytes Unplugged podcast. Man, am I on a roll. Thursday, October 29th, another great chat. This time, a metal rocker. A real metal rocker, I should say. Tony Hernando of Lords of Black from Madrid, Spain. Check out this band. This band certainly brings it. I call it progressive heavy power metal band. And Tony and pretty much his partner who handles the vocals and songwriting as well with Tony is Ronnie Romero. And you want to hear the vocals on this guy. I swear, you close your eyes and you hear Ronnie James Dio, you hear Bruce Dickinson, you hear all kinds. This guy's range is incredible. And Tony, I'm not talking shredding, I'm talking playing. The tone and the sound that comes out of his playing is like over the top. Lords of Black will officially release an album that comes out November 6th on the Frontier Music label, Alchemy of Souls Part 1. Yeah, cool title, cool tracks, and great artwork. And if you like Judas Priest, if you like Iron Maiden, if you like Queensryche, if you love Dio, if you like Sabbath, you will definitely love this band. It's quite diverse, but it's diverse in a metal way, but great lyrics, great songs. I mean, this band's been together since 2014. And Tony talks about the story about the formation of the band. And they opened up for Ozzy and Judas Priest. We talk about some of the tracks. It's a really good chat. So, episode number 96 for Thursday, October 29th. Tony Hernando of Lords of Black. Go check that out and go buy this album. You won't be disappointed, trust me. Put on your headphones and crank it up, and you're going to go, holy explosive shit. This is insane. It's really, really good stuff. As always, thank you for subscribing. Keep subscribing. Subscribe to my YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, IGTV. This was just a regular Skype audio chat, so certainly no videos, but they do have videos out there for two of their singles, one Into the Black and the second Dying to Live Again. And just go to their website, lordsofblack.com, and you check out their videos, check out the band, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? Sounds cool. Keep rocking. Don't be shy if you want to share any of my stuff and tell any of your friends. I really do appreciate it, because it's all about the content that I can get out of these great artists to share with you. More great interviews coming up. We're going to be hitting episode 100 rather quickly. So keep listening and keep rocking and rolling. And as always, live, love, and laugh a lot, because life is way too short.
Hi, this is Tony Hernando from Lords of Black, and you're listening to Pat Soundbytes Unplugged.
Hey, keeping new music alive is what I do. Welcome to Pat's Soundbytes Unplugged podcast in conjunction with WBXO. Got another super great show today lined up with an amazing guitarist. He's an incredible and accomplished songwriter, and he's one of the founding members of the progressive heavy power metal band out of Madrid, Spain. The man of Lords of Black, our buddy Tony Hernando. How are you, Tony?
Very good, Pat, and thanks so much for having me here. I'm very nice to talk to you and talk to New Yorkers. So, yeah, very happy to be here.
Well, we're glad that you're there and giving us the opportunity. And I know it's a little late in Madrid, Spain, and it's on my bucket list to get out there. I tell you that. I want to get out to Spain and Portugal once we get this whole COVID thing under control. How are you and your family and everybody in Spain making out, dealing with this pandemic? Everybody okay?
Yeah, for me the situation is okay. I'm just trying to stay safe and healthy. But the situation is pretty difficult right now in Spain. Has been getting worse and worse over the last 2 weeks. Also, there is a lot of politics going on. So not only the pandemic make the things very difficult, but the management of this thing and the politics in between, as you can imagine, is crazy. So yeah, everyone is doing. All of us, we are doing the best we can in this situation, and we just hope for the best for 2021. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just been one hell of a year, Tony. I gotta say that I miss live shows, and I'm sure you do too. Of getting on stage and performing and feeding off the energy of the audience. Tony and his bandmates of Lords of Black have released officially a new album coming out, Alchemy of Souls. Part 1, I should say, Alchemy of Souls, Part 1, on Frontier Music label, officially comes out on November 6th, and it certainly rocks. I love a lot of the tunes, Into the Black and Dying to Live Again, and I'll go down the list of tracks in a minute with Tony, but congratulations on this album, and boy, was it a difficult decision, Tony, to say, let's release the new music even though we can't tour and support it right this minute?
Yeah, the whole thing is very weird for us, the musicians. So in one thing has been good because we have been very busy recording and writing and advancing a lot of material for even for years to come. So, but nobody knows how the situation is going to be, not even next month. So we are not planning or scheduling live concerts for now, maybe till summer to 2021. So actually, Ronnie and I, we've been talking about going ahead with the recordings of the Alchemy of Souls Part 2, because nobody knows what is going to be next week or next month. So let's keep on working on the new songs, maybe even get the new album recorded, and maybe if the situation gets clear by the middle of 2021, maybe we can even touring, supporting both parts, both albums at the same time by the fall of 2021. So that's all we can do, is staying busy, writing and recording, and that's it for now, because no live shows outside.
Yeah, no, I think you guys are on to a very good plan. You know, I've been telling artists it's kind of a double-edged sword, because people like, right, how do you release an album and I can't support it? But on the other hand, Tony, everybody's home, and I live on new music. I mean, that's all I pretty much play anymore. So I gravitate to it. I love it. But I look at it also, if everybody was working and doing their normal thing, it would be hard, that at least now you got the opportunity of people are definitely looking forward to it. So, yeah, I mean, why not do part 2 and keep writing as much as you can? I mean, that's what obviously musicians do. So I agree and applaud you for your plan. Tony, let me ask about this. The band. You and Ronnie formed a band back in 2014. What got you towards music, were family members or who inspired you and said, hey, let's do this. Let's form a band and get into it and roll up our sleeves and see what we can do?
Well, it was a cool story back then in 2014, as you said. Yeah, I organized a tribute show for Ronnie James Dio here in Madrid, in my hometown, and I invited the best vocalist of the scene. I put together a kind of all-star band with me on guitar and as a musical director for doing a tribute show.
Excellent. I mean, yeah, I was going to say that. Talk about Ronnie Romero, boy. If I could close I could close my eyes and think I'm hearing Ronnie James Dio.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I got to my ears that there was one guy from Chile that had moved to Madrid recently, and he was singing just like Ronnie James Dio, and I wanted to see myself. So I called this guy, and I didn't know him at all, and I invited him for the rehearsals, and I told him to prepare 3 songs. I remember that I asked him to sing Night People from the album Dream Evil, and a bunch of others, of course. And right. I will never forget the very first moment when he started to sing, and I was almost stopped playing my guitar because I couldn't believe it. It was electrifying. It was like a feeling all through my body, all through my spine, like if I was hearing Ronnie Dio in the flesh right there.
Wow.
It was very special. So the mutual love we have for not only for Ronnie James Dio and all those classic bands, Purple, Rainbow, Sabbath, all those guys, that mutual love that Ronnie and I have for those classic bands made us wanted to form this band. So we knew from the beginning we had something very special together, that we have chemistry that was undeniable. And at the time we were in different bands and we were committed to other projects, but we knew that sooner or later we were going to get together. And that was it. We formed Lords of Black, and it has been great.
And the rest is history, and you guys are kicking ass and taking names, and that's a pretty cool story. Yeah, like you said, when you stop playing because your hairs are standing, going, is this really happening? This guy, you close your eyes and going, okay, we're doing this. And it's all about the chemistry, right, Tony? You got to have the right personalities and the right chemistry, and finding the people that have the same love of music, of direction of what you guys were doing. So good for you. That's cool.
Yeah, at the end it's all about chemistry, because no matter if you are a very accomplished musician or technical musician or just a good performance, if the songwriting is not right and if the chemistry is not right, the songs are not gonna tell anything, are not gonna move anyone, no matter how technical they are. It's about the feeling, about the vibe, and about the chemistry that goes from us to you, the audience. And Ronnie and I, we have that chemistry together. And it's a very old school kind of thing, because not only those bands that I just mentioned that we are very influenced by, like Purple, Rainbow, Dio, Sabbath, all those guys, were based on a team of a guitar hero and a vocalist. You know what I mean? So like Jimmy Page with Robert Plant, or Richie Blackmore with Ronnie James Dio. So Lords of Black is pretty much that old school vibe of one incredible vocalist with another guitarist. So there you have it, yeah.
Don't sell yourself short, Tony. You're an amazing guitarist. I closed my eyes. And where did you learn how to play guitar like that? Did you take lessons, or you watch a lot of YouTube of all? I mean, I hear so much influence, as you mentioned, of the bands that you guys look up towards. I hear Iron Maiden. I hear Metallica. I think sometimes some of the songs almost sound like they got keyboards in it. I mean, I know the one song, what was it, Shadows Kill Twice, obviously starts with piano, but the guitar playing is amazing, Tony. You do a terrific job.
Thank you. Well, I'm too old school. I'm already in my mid-40s, so don't tell me about learning guitar on YouTube. No way. It was like everyone back in the day. We had turntables and tapes, and we listened to the tapes and the records all the time, back and forward, and listen by ear. But also, I have classical training, so I was very early on at the Conservatory of Music when I was 9 years old. So my initial love for music was classical music. But as you can imagine, when I was 11 or 12 years old and I discovered hard rock and heavy metal and all the common things that have with classical music, I was immediately hooked. I remember the very first time I heard Randy Rhoads solo on Mr. Crowley.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of the end, because I knew I wanted to do that. And then I discovered guys like Yngwie Malmsteen or people that were very, very classical influenced, and that really got me hooked. And it was a beautiful time on music, not only metal and hard rock. Everything was back in the day much better than nowadays. The pop, the everything, all the music that you could find on the radio or in the MTV or wherever, it was really good compared what is like today.
No doubt about that, dude. Talk to me, Tony, about the songwriting process. Are you the primary writer, or is it a combination between you and Ronnie?
Well, in the beginning, it was more a collaboration between all of us in the band, but more and more into the albums, I was becoming the main songwriter, because it's like I'm working 24/7 thinking in this band and everything. So I'm the most driven and I'm the most working guy on this. So I came up with most of the ideas, not only the titles and the lyrics and the covers and the artwork and everything. So, I mean, I wish it would be a much more collaborating kind of thing, but in the end, is what it is, and the music is good, and the chemistry we have is very special. And Ronnie knows that I'm writing with his voice in my mind. When I'm writing for Lords of Black, I'm having Ronnie's voice in my mind all the time, and I try to come up with the best songs for him to sign.
That was going to lead into my next question, because I was going to say, how much of a challenge is it to write these great songs and then share it with Ronnie, and he's got to understand the emotion behind it, so that he has to own it. So when he sings it, it's like it's all, it's coming out. So I'm sure it's got to be a little bit of a challenge. But like you just said, you keep his vision and his vocals in your mind when you're writing these things. So I'm sure he might put a little edge, his little touch to it here and there. But for the most part, it's really you. But he gets it, and you're thinking of him.
Oh yeah, that he's so good, because he reads my mind like no one else, and he knows what I want, and that's one thing. But also, he has a great personality. and he's of course putting his own twist to it, his own bite to it. And sometimes when he proposes a different line or different approach, or he's normally right, and I let him having as much freedom as the music allows. So it's good. It's very easy to work with him. It's very good.
And you lost him for a little while. I saw that he left. I saw Richie Blackmore wanting him. I'm not sure if he actually sang with Rainbow, but it was the story or the press release that I read was you kept working and were driven, and you finally just, maybe auditioned a couple of singers and then said, let me just send it to him and get his thoughts. And lo and behold, guess who's back? Which really is, it's you two, as you mentioned. So it makes a lot of sense for him to really work with you, I think.
Yeah, we definitely make a great team. And Lords of Black is of course based on two primary ingredients that are my guitar and my sound and my songwriting and his powerful voice. He's one of the very, very few guys right now in the world that sing with that quality, with that intensity, and with that passion. He's definitely one of the guys that take the legacy of the greatest of Freddie Mercury and Ronnie James Dio and Paul Rogers and David Coverdale. And it's very rare because it's very difficult to find one guy with this talent and this potential. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that he's back with you, and you are absolutely right. There's no doubt about that. For him to hit those notes and the passion, I close my eyes, and as you mentioned, you could hear Ronnie James Dio, you could hear David Coverdale, you could hear Bruce Dickinson of Maiden, you could hear James from Metallica, and not everybody can do that to a level of what the songs that you guys have put together. And Into the Black and Dying to Live Again. And I love Deliverance Lost. I love the beginning with the drums. And I love Brightest Star. It gave me a lot of Metallica feel. The piano with the shadows kill twice. But your guitar riffs how would you describe your tone, Tony? Your guitar riffs are insane.
Well, thank you. It's hard for me to describe myself because even I really know I have a very particular and very certain tone and a style that I've had a very wide influences, and I think that's very good because I'm very open. I grew up listening to all kind of musics, and I think you can notice influences from many different players and many different styles, and I think that makes everything fresh and original and cool. So, but it's difficult for me to describe that. But I like strong and powerful and edgy riffs and powerful and melodic solos, because shredding, just because of the sake of shredding, I'm not interested. It has to be melodic. It's like I play very technical and very shreddy, but with a lot of emotion and a lot of power, like Gary Moore, if you will, So I always like those kind of guitarists that not only they are technical, but they play with their guts. Like they have, something inside, and they have passion, and they have personality, and they can be rude, and they can be sensitive, all at the same time. So, yeah.
Oh, good for you, dude. I don't know what you're doing, but it comes across great. I can listen to your guitar riff nonstop. I mean, it's awesome. So, and you guys, I read that you guys opened for Ozzy and Judas Priest at one point. I mean, how cool of an experience was that?
Very nice. It was both gigs were really, really, high profile kind of stuff. The Ozzy gig in Prague was a huge outdoor for more like 60,000 people, I guess.
Wow.
And we were opening along Hollywood Vampires, and it was great. It was a great day. We met a lot of people, and we talked to the rest of the guys, except, of course, for Ozzy. And with the Priest, it was great because Rob Halford himself came to our dressing room, and I remember having with him a really nice, very long chat, talking about everything, not only about music, but about everything. And Rob is such a world-class act, one of the greatest vocalists of all time, but also I will remember and I will treasure that conversation all my life because he was such an incredible and very kind and very respectful guy. Definitely the metal god.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I got to see those guys last year with Uriah Heep, and yeah, that's got to be a great feeling. I mean, you're sitting in the dressing room, here comes Rob knocking on the door, and he's just, a genuine soul, just, applauding you guys and encouraging you guys and hanging out and chatting, not only music, but of everything. So that, that you got to make you feel terrific. I mean, that if that doesn't inspire you to get on stage and do your best, and when you got the metal god saying, patting you on the back, it doesn't get any better than that.
That's right. Absolutely.
I love the title of the album, Alchemy. Nobody ever uses that word. And I mean, I'm thinking alchemy. I'm like, wow, which is, the process of taking something ordinary to making something like extraordinary in a way you really, grabbing a pile of metal and making it into beautiful artwork. And I thought it was a really cool, catchy title of the album and of the track itself. What drove you to use that word and come up with that song title and the album title?
Yeah, it was at the end of the writing of the album. I was realizing that not all the songs, but many of the songs were around this topic of the current times and a revelation against what is going on. And at the same time, we all have a war inside of us, like a never-ending struggle inside of us between good and evil. And I came up with the concept of alchemy of souls because I believe we are constantly going to going forward, good or evil, it depends. And that process, I think, it make us change as persons, as human beings, and it changes our souls, if you will. So it's very philosophical, personal concept that goes along very well, not only with the current times and the war as a whole, but as in a personal level, that we all can relate to that because we all have those struggles, those personal struggles through life. So I'm glad that you like the title. I thought it was a very strong and beautiful title, so I knew it was going to be the closer of the song, the closer song for the album and the main title, because it was very strong, I think. Absolutely
strong. I mean, it caught my eyes rather quickly to say. I like to listen to the lyrics. I like to understand the story. I like to read the title and to know, what's the content about? What are they? What's the message here? Like Dying to Live Again, I thought it was very fitting for what we're going through today. I'm not sure if that was what you were, if that was the goal of the song, but listening to the lyrics and understanding that song, I thought of this pandemic and what this world is going through. Was I accurate with that, Tony?
Yeah, but it's funny because when I was writing these songs, it was
way before the pandemic, right?
Yeah, right before the pandemic, and I didn't want to be proverbial or anything, but I had the feeling that something was going on and something wicked was coming. Something. I don't know. I had that feeling that we were heading to a disaster as society, as a whole. And it's not only the pandemic, what is going on right now in the world, it's much more than that. And I think there are a lot of behind the scenes politics and wars and yeah.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, so it's because obviously we are talking metal and we are playing heavy metal. The songs and maybe sometimes the lyrics seem to be very obscure and very dark. Like, for example, Dying to Live Again, during the verses, what Ronnie is singing about, my lyrics are very dark, but not in a depressive way, in a negative way, because it comes the chorus, and we Dying to Live Again, we dare to be anything and defeat evil, wherever it is evil, and tell the world that we are really dying to live again, because we want to still be free, enjoy life.
Very good. I love that explanation, and I love the artwork of the album. Wow, who did that?
Oh yeah, I've been working with Felipe Machado. This guy from Colombia has been our artwork guy from the very beginning. I have a great relationship with him. We became friends, and he reads my mind like no other in this department, because when I'm telling him the lyrics and the titles and the overall concept of the album, he just nails it. He's very good. He's so talented.
So I love the four albums. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just check the 4 albums of Lords of Black, and you will find beautiful covers. Because we really like to go the extra mile with that as well. Not only the music, but nice artwork, very old school, really well done and well thought artwork that accompanies the musical statement we do every time that we do a record. So yeah, I think we make great artworks, and that's one of the strongest points of Lords of Black.
Absolutely, man. What magnificent work. And I love the detail. I mean, it's just very, it says a lot. And it's good. It represents the band, and it represents the music. And good for you guys to go the extra mile. You could just put anything out there, but when you make it interesting and you come out with good titles, and people, you get that creative, that generate that creativity of people going, man, I can't wait to listen to this. I love it, Tony. I love all of it. We're going to be playing a lot of it. For all my listeners, if you love Dio, if you love Queen's Ride, if you love Maiden, if you love Sabbath, you will definitely, if you never heard of Lords of Black, you have no idea of what you're missing. I've listened to World Gone Bad. I've listened to what was the Icons of the New Days? I mean, go to lordsofblack.com. You can check all about this great band out of Spain. Check out their video. There are bundles available with the new album, so certainly go check that out. It officially comes out on Frontier Music on November 6th. Tony, I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I have. It's a pleasure to have you, and I can tell you, I love your band, I love your music, I love what you're doing, and we're going to continue to rock it as much as we can for you.
Thank you so much. I had a blast talking to you, Pat, and thank you so much again for having me, and I wish you guys the best over there. Stay safe and strong, and so we definitely will see better times. So
absolutely, and then whatever you're working on, your next project, give me a call and we'll get it out there as well. And we can't wait to see you back on the stage and hopefully in the States sometimes, so I can have a cerveza fria with you, a little cold beer or something with you.
Yeah, definitely, we will.
All right, well, it doesn't get any better than this. Tony Hernando of Lords of Black here on Pat Soundbytes Unplugged.